because Donald Trump said today very clearly that he wants to be able to throw anyone in a prison in El Salvador and throw away the key, even if that person has committed no crime.
Okay, the tape is a little hard to hear, but if you listen closely, you can just make out what the president is saying as he enters the Oval Office today with the president of El Salvador.
I said, homegrowns are next. The homegrowns. You got to build about 5 more places.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Or the quote, homegrowns, meaning U.S. citizens. He says, homegrowns are next. You're going to need to build about 5 new places. Or the quote, homegrowns, meaning U.S. citizens. He says, homegrowns are next. You're going to need to build about 5 new places.
Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem, R'chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety, and much blessings to the Yakim that's pushing this truth, laboring and endure in this truth with all truth and sincerity and diligence. You know, shalom. So, as you can see this clip right here, okay, you can see this clip where it says that Donald Trump wants to throw whoever he wants in the prison, okay, whether they're committed no crime. And you can see where it says homegrowns are next. Now, we understand in judging through the spirit that when he say homegrown, he's talking about the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, the Israelites, right? The true prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Because our brother, right, Esau Edom, the accuser of our brethren, right, he understands, that he has a short time, man. And he has an agenda that he must complete. And we, in his mind, we are standing in the way because we are exposing him, via, the truth, via, these scriptures. We're exposing him. So what he said, what you just heard, is that he wants to be able to throw anybody into prison in El Salvador. And he basically said you got to build about 5 more of these things, right? He wants to throw anybody, in prison, even if they haven't committed a crime. Now, we know, in the spirit that, through the spirit that has happened before, right? They couldn't find no accusation, no crime, nothing against Daniel, right? So what they did, they couldn't find it, against him, cornerly, right? So they wanted to find it against him with his power, which is the reason why, our elders and apostles told us if there's anything you got to clear up, like warrants and all these different things, clear that up, man. Don't give this devil no ammo to feed off of. But he's what all the legislations that he's passing, he's making paving the way for him to be able to do whatever he wants to do, because soon enough the Constitution is not going to matter. So you Israelites, who claim to be Israelites, you fringe wearing Israelites, you head wrapping Israelites, you dress wearing Israelites, you men who claim to be Israelites, understand that you are the target, man. But we know through the spirit that only the elect, right? Only the elect is going to endure this persecution that is coming. All right. So the point is, what I was getting into is that he said that the lady said that he wants to be able to throw anybody, it was a guy. He wants to throw anybody in prison, okay, even if they haven't committed a crime. So let me see. Let me see where that goes to. That's Daniel 6, right? Daniel 6. And this is Daniel 6 and 5. Well, I'm going to start at 1. It says, Darius the Mede decided to divide the kingdom into 120 provinces. He appointed the high officer to rule over each province. The king also chose Daniel and 2 others as administrators to supervise the high officers and protect the king's interests. Daniel soon proved himself more capable than all the other administrators and high officers. Because of Daniel's great ability, the king made plans to place him over the entire empire. Then the other administrators and high officers began searching for some fault in the way Daniel was handling the government affairs, but they could not find anything to criticize or condemn. He was faithful, always responsible, completely trustworthy. So they concluded, our only chance of finding grounds for accusing Daniel will be in the connection with the rules of his religion. You see? So that'll only be, and that's what Esau Edom. That is his only thing that he can do via, he's going to make this charagma, which is the MOTB, right? The C-hip, mandatory. We're not out here toting pistols at camp. We're not out here, making these 500 men marches down the street. We're not out here causing, chaos or looting or, doing anything carnal or taking up arms. We're not doing none of that. So the only thing that Esau Edom is going to be able to do, right, is to accuse us for not worshiping or bowing the knee to, the image of the beast, or taking this charagma, you see, or taking this mark. Okay? So he going to deem us, and he call them homegrown. He going to deem us Ter-Ris, if you understand what I'm saying. Because when you look that up in the political, when you look up the word homegrown in the political context, it goes into homegrown Ter-Ris, if you get what I'm saying. Okay? So they're going to deem us Ter-Ris. Why are they going to deem us Ter-Ris? Because we are contrary, to his doings, man. We're contrary to this great red dragon's system. We're contrary, to Esau Edom, because his ways are the ways of wickedness. Okay? And we're standing up for righteousness, in the eyesight of the Lord. So we understand that you're going to have, men, probably me, cast into a concentration camp. I don't want to be cast into a concentration camp, but if it's my lot, I pray for the Lord. I pray that the Lord give me the spirit to endure what's coming, my way, man. Because every man that call himself a follower of Hamashiach, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, man, okay, you're going to have to suffer persecution. That is scriptural. And let's get to it. This is Revelations, the 2nd chapter, the 10th verse. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulations 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So some men are going to be cast into prison, these concentration camps, and tried 10 days, whatever that may be. As 10 days is going into a complete amount of time to however long. It could be 3 days. It could be 5 days. It could be 7, 10, whatever, however the Lord see fit. Whatever the Lord see fit for your measure of what he's given you, that's how long you're going to be tried in these concentration camps, man. Okay? So we understand that Esau Edom is telling you, he's telling you, homegrowns are next. We understand that this devil knows that he has a short time, so he's going to come down with great wrath. So if you think anybody that has watched videos of Hebrew Israelites, understand that you are a target. You are a target. And if you lollygagged in this thing, or tried to be behind the scenes, or just was a keyboard prophet or in the house prophet, listen, they coming for you too, right? But they definitely coming for the men that's calling on the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and exposing him and letting, and warning, the nation of Israel, that the MOTB is the C-hip, man. That's preaching salvation unto, the Israelites, and just the Israelites. That's who he's coming after. That is number one public enemy on his agenda, man. All right. Because, us that's teaching the true doctrine of the Lord, we what you would say, fucking up business for Esau Edom, right? The Lord has put the spirit upon men to flood the internet, man, with truth, and truth has sprang up, man, right? And you can't deny this truth, man. Even Edomites have told the truth about Edomites, man. So we're basically fucking up business, man, on this with this devil, man. To him, we fucking up business, like we standing in the way, right? And that was an account in the scriptures just like that. So we're gonna suffer persecution and being dealt with harshly, some men, because of the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Look, I'm gonna find that. Where is it at? I know there was an account of. Give me a second, Salakia. Let me see. That was Acts, right? That's in the book of Acts. Let's see. Okay. This is Acts 16 and this is Acts 16 and 16. It says, one day as we were going down to the place of prayer, we met a slave girl who had a spirit that enabled her to tell the future. See, she earned a lot of money for her masters by telling fortunes. See, so they was benefiting off of this woman. Okay, so they had business going. She followed Paul and the rest of us, shouting, "These men are servants of the Most High God, and they have come to tell you how to be saved." This went on day after day until Paul got so exasperated that he turned and said to the demon within her. So this was a demon. So she was bugging them. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, stop. Shut up. "I command you in the name of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach to come out of her." And instantly it left her. Her master's hopes of wealth were now shattered. So they fucked up business. So now the fact that he cast out those demons, like, okay, now let's bring it back to what we doing today through the act of preaching and sealing up the breaches of the house of Israel, man. We casting down all these, these wicked, spirits, out of individuals, and they're turning back and repenting and turning to the Heavenly Father, man. Right? Standing on their feet, Lord, I am an Israelite. All right, the name of the Lord is Yahweh. The name of the Son is Yahweh Shai, right? The MOTB is this, right? We are the nation of Israel, right? Salvation is only for the nation of Israel. So we're fucking up business for Esau Edom. Okay, so check this out. It says, verse 19, her master's hopes for wealth were now shattered. So they grabbed Paul and Silas and dragged them before the authorities at the marketplace. The whole city is in an uproar because of these Jews. So the whole city. So that's what's going to happen, man. People are going to realize that, hey, man, they've been lied to. They've been believing the American dream because they've been asleep, man. Right? It's going to be an uproar. This truth always cause like an uproar, man, because it's truth. And people have been comfortable in living in lies, man. Okay? So they fucked up this man's business, just like us now today, man. Like, we're casting down every stronghold, man, right? We're consuming this devil from the inside by the spirit of the mouth of the Lord, man, which the prophets is the mouth of the Lord. It says, they shouted to the city officials, "They are teaching customs that are illegal for us Romans to practice." Whew. You see? So look, a mob quickly formed against Paul and Silas, and the city officials ordered them to be stripped and beaten with wood rods. They were severely beaten, and then they were thrown into prison. Okay? The jailer was ordered to make sure they didn't escape. So the jailer put them into the inner dungeon and clamped their feet in stocks. All right, so look, man. This is what happened to our elder apostle Paul, you know, and Silas, you feel me? These elder brothers, man. This is what happened to them. They were beaten and put in prison. You have to get your mind right and think like, this may happen to me. This may happen to me. May the Lord give you the strength to endure, man. May the Lord give me the strength to endure, because this may happen to me. But there's deliverance that come with it, man. There's deliverance, because when you keep reading, it says around midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to the Most High. So in their affliction, they were rejoicing. In their affliction, they were still praising Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, man. They just got beaten. They just got beat for the truth. And the other prisoners were listening. Suddenly there was a massive earthquake, and the prison was shaken to its foundations, and the doors immediately flew open, and the chains of every prisoner fell off, and the jailer woke up to see the prison doors were wide open. He assumed the prisoners had escaped, so he drew his sword to kill himself, but Paul shouted, "Stop, don't kill yourself, we are all here." But the point is that the Lord he did a miracle. He did a miracle, right, to get them out of that situation. And that's what we have to look for, because when Donald Trump's saying what he's saying, he's not fucking playing. He's not playing. Man, we are here to warn you to let you know, even to we talking to ourselves too, right? We are about to go through some persecution that is so heavy, that anything else that's going on in your life, you have to cast that shit off, bro, because it ain't conducive to what we're about to go through, man. You know? Apostle Paul said that in 1 Corinthians, the first chapter. Let me see. Is it 1 Corinthians? Is it 2 Corinthians, the first chapter? Let's try that. Let's see. Okay, so this is 2 Corinthians 1:8. And I read this because, like, I brought this out before a plethora of times. But this, he really hit it home, man, and let you know, look, this is what you signing up for, man. Because Esau Edom is not finna just give the throne up. This is 2 Corinthians 1:8 in the NLT. We think you ought to know, dear brothers and sisters. So you women that call yourself elect women, well, hope to be elect women, call yourselves Israelites, shalom, yeah, right? We think you ought to know, dear brothers and sisters, about the trouble we went through in the province of Asia. We were crushed, overwhelmed beyond our abilities to endure. So their flesh felt like they were overwhelmed beyond their abilities of endurance. We thought we would never live through it. You know, you gotta think about that, man. We thought we didn't think we was gonna live, right? In fact, we expected to die. They brought themselves to the mind frame of that, man. Like, we about to die. Oh, hey, listen, brother, shalom. It's been an honor, you know, serving with you, brother. Like, but I think we about to go meet the Lord in the spirit realm. However it goes. They brought themselves to that, man. But as a result, we stopped relying on ourselves, meaning that they gave it all to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and learned to rely on the Most High, who raised the dead. And he did rescue us from mortal danger, and he will rescue us again. We have placed our confidence in him, and he will continue to rescue us. All right? So that's what we got to do, man. That is what it is. That is what's going to get you delivered through these tribulations and being thrown in these concentration camps, because that's what Donald Trump wants to do. He wants to throw you in these concentration camps. And, you know, you got to understand, this devil, he's a devil, man. He'll throw you in the concentration camp, and you got to think about it. He'll put you in there and have you on a screen doing certain shit or saying certain shit, planning to where people understand what's going on. And then he'll have a whole goddamn prison concentration camp against you, man. Right? But that's what it'll look like. That's what it's going to look like. But, right, what the Lord told us, man, in Matthew 10:28, fear not him which can kill the body, right, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy the soul and body in hell. Okay? Matthew 10:22, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but ye that endure to the end shall be saved. Right? So we're looking for that crown of life, you know, to endure these times that are coming in, man. So these concentration camps are built, you know, they got them. These things are real, right? He said, you got to build 5 more, you know, in El Salvador, okay? You know? You see? What I was getting at. Salaki. So we understand this thing. We understand, you know, that the devil wants to take us out, man, and he wants to ship us to these places, man. But, you know, we got to look for that miracle, those same miracles that the Lord was doing for the men of old, that was never confounded, that called upon his name. We gotta hold fast to that, man. You know, Salaki. We gotta hold fast to the things that we read and these accounts that was before us, man. You know, talking to myself too. When Joseph was thrown into prison, the Lord found favor with him. It was favor with Joseph. It says that. Watch this. This is Salaki. Let me see if I can find it. Oh boy. Wrong area. Let's see, favor. So I can give me a second. This is Genesis 39 and where is it? No, that's not it. Oh, it made him overseer of the house. No, that's not it. Let's see. Yeah. All right, so this is Genesis 39:20. And Joseph's master took him and put him into prison and placed him where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. But Yahweh was with Joseph and shewed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. You see? So the Most High showed Joseph favor even in his affliction. So we got to look for that same favor. Because, hey man, he's telling you, Donald Trump is saying he wants to throw anybody, even if you haven't committed a crime, right? And it's not a crime to say, look, man, I'm not taking your damn seat here. All right? I'm not with the mixing man with machine. No, I don't believe that the fact that you are God, bitch, because you got a blessing, you know, and you're using technology to, you know, to make people see and walk and, you know, do these things again. That is left-handed practices, right? And that'll piss Esau, eat him off, because he feel like, hey, man, about my power, about my XYZ, get real high and mighty, you know? Because he feel like he's doing it, you know? So, listen, man. This thing is deadly serious, bro. And this devil about to come down with a great rap, man. And you may be that brother that have to not love your life unto death, man, which we know that the elect is not going to love their life to death, because that's what it says in the book of Revelations. This is the book of Revelations, the 12th chapter, 12, and I'm going to read this one in the NLT. This is Revelations 12, and where is it? 11, it says, and they have defeated him by the blood of the Lamb. Who is that they? The elect, right? By the blood of the Lamb and by their testimony. And they did not love their lives so much that they were afraid to die. So martyrdom is going to be in the lot of some of the elect brothers and, hey man, you elect sisters. Okay? Martyrdom is gonna be in a lot of some of you elect brothers that's not gonna love their life unto death. That's gonna give their life up, man, because they understand that it's a crown of life on the other side, man, and that you're gonna reign with Hamashiach, man, being the first fruits. You see, so that's what we have to look forward to. While we do this, while we study, while we do these lessons, while we, out here preaching sometimes to the wind, nobody listening, it's because of this. Because we want to obtain the incorruptible crown and that crown of life, which is on the crown of life, to be crowned by Yahweh Shah in that marriage ceremony, man. So, Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.